So hello and welcome students to PrEP. In this particular video, we'll be discussing the answers to the questions of ninth grade science chapter, Matter in Our Surroundings. That is also the first chapter. I hope these answers are able to help you. So let us get started. So the first question is convert the following temperatures to the Celsius scale. We have two further subparts to it, 293 Kelvin and 470 Kelvin. So in this particular question, we just need to convert the temperature of Kelvin scales into degrees Celsius. So in order to do this, we need to understand a basic relationship between the two units of temperature. Kelvin, which is the SI unit of temperature, can be converted into degrees Celsius by using this simple relationship. The relationship is something like this. Whatever temperature you want in degrees Celsius can be obtained by taking the temperature in Kelvin and subtracting 273 from it. Okay? Instead of using exactly 273.16, you can always go for 273 as an approximation. So doing the first part, we want the temperature in degrees Celsius, so we'll be using the relation degrees Celsius equal to the temperature in Kelvin, that was 293 for the first part minus 273. So the answer for the first part is 20 degree Celsius. Very similarly, doing the second part. So the temperature in degrees Celsius will be the temperature in Kelvin. For this part is 470 minus the same constant term 273. When you solve this, the answer is 197 degree Celsius. I hope this part was clear. So moving on. Now we need to convert the temperature to Kelvin scale, and the temperatures given to us are in degrees Celsius. So again we can use the same relationship between the two units of temperature. Here the temperature in Kelvin can be obtained by taking the temperature at degrees Celsius and adding 273 to it. In the previous part we were subtracting 273, in this case we'll be adding the same. So for the first part, temperature in Kelvin will be the temperature in degrees Celsius. For the first part it is 25 degrees plus 273. When you do this calculation, the answer will be 298 Kelvin. Okay. Very similarly, we do the second part of the question. The temperature in Kelvin will be the temperature in degrees Celsius. For the second part it is 373 plus 273. Yep. When you do this calculation, I suppose the answer would be something around 646 Kelvin. Yeah, you can just check that, a simple addition. So I hope this part was clear. Moving to the next question. So the question is, give reason for the following observations. The first part is naphthalene balls that disappear with time without leaving any solid. In the second part, we can get the smell of a perfume sitting several meters away. So we'll attempt the first part. Naphthalene balls disappear with time without leaving any solid. So as you all know, naphthalene balls are something that we use to preserve our clothes whenever you want to keep them for a longer period of time in some cupboard. Yeah. So the special thing about naphthalene balls is they undergo a process, I suppose you all must be knowing, which is called as sublimation. Yeah. So as you guys know, sublimation is a process in which a solid directly gets converted into the gaseous form. So the same goes for the naphthalene balls. Naphthalene balls are sublimable substances that undergo sublimation. That means they get converted directly from solid to gaseous form without undergoing the intermediate state of liquid. So that is why they disappear with time without leaving any solid. I hope this part was clear. Moving to the next part of the question. We can get the smell of perfume sitting several meters away. So a perfume is basically a chemical substance which, when sprayed on something, releases small gaseous particles, or you can say vapor particles. These vapor particles, they have a lot of energy in them. That energy is specifically called as kinetic energy, and they also have a lot of spaces in between those particles, because of which they undergo a process which is called as diffusion. Now, because of diffusion and the energy they possess, they are able to spread to a several meter distance. Yeah. So any person who is at a several meter distance away, they can easily get the smell of that. That is all because of this ability of the vapor particles or the gaseous particles to undergo the process of diffusion. I hope this was clear. Moving on. The next question says, arrange the following substances in increasing order of their forces of attraction between the particles. So the three types of particles or the examples that have been given to us are water, sugar, and oxygen. And I'm sure we can easily segregate them on the basis of the state of matter in which they are. Yeah? Water can be considered as a liquid, sugar can be considered as a solid, and oxygen can be considered as a gas. Yeah? Now, talking about the three different states of matter, solid, liquid, and gases, we all know that the forces of attraction between these particles, it basically decreases when you go from the solid state to the gaseous state. Yeah. So it is maximum in the case of solids, then lesser than solids in case of liquids, and the least in the case of gases. Yeah. So if you try to arrange the given three substances in this particular order, so the least, so they are asking for the increasing order. That means we have to arrange them from the least to the maximum. So the least one has to be the gas, then it has to be the liquid, and finally it has to be the solid. Yeah. So now you just have to substitute these states of matter. So for the gas, it will be oxygen. For the liquid, it will be water. And for the solid, it will be sugar. So this is your answer for the fourth question. I hope this part was clear.